All right, everybody, I want you to take a look at this. This is where 16 and 421 come together. And that number will come significant here in a little bit. It's pretty close to Mount Rogers, right? It's also next to Grandfather Mountain in the Linvilles. Son, father, and grandfather, and Roger that. But anyways, as you zoom in, I'll get into why the 421 and 16 come together, why that's important. Right here. What is that doing here? On the AT footpath map, if you take the 1727, which references Company 1727, which is a CCC campsite, which then got stationed out when FDR did his speech in 1938 over there at the Blue Ridge Parkway at the entrance in the opening. Did his speech and he says, "We're going to pay you guys. We're going to pay you $1 a day." $1 a day. But there was those that were tasked to do the charging and the dynamite and the fuses and be pulled back up and trust those that are pulling the line to bring them back as they cleared out what they could in certain areas. Obviously, Grandfather Mountain was not a big one, and the individual that had that play we'll go into later. But let's do this. Let's see what there is here and why. Right next to Sheets, there's a Bitcoin ATM. Come on now, here we go. Ready? And it takes you to a generic number.
I hear you.
Thank you for calling BitStop, a world leader in the Bitcoin ATM industry. This call may be recorded for quality assurance purpose. For English, press 1. Para español, oprimo dos. Thank you for calling. To speak with a customer support associate, press 3. To speak with a customer, please stay on the line for our next available agent to assist you.
We are going to inquire
If you don't
about
wish
this
to hold,
location.
you can send an email to support@bitstop.co, and your inquiry will be responded to within 20 hours. If you're an existing customer and recently made a transaction at a BitStop Bitcoin ATM and still do not see the transaction, please refresh your wallet and wait 30 minutes for your transaction to be sent onto the Bitcoin network.
Thank you so much for calling BitStop. This is Adam. How can I help?
Hey, so I got a quick question, Adam. If I was over there in Wakesboro, North Carolina, where is the ATM for the Bitcoin?
I'm sorry. You were breaking up. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can
no
you repeat it again
worries.
one more time for me?
Yeah, let's say that I'm over here at the US 421 and the NC, what was it, 16? Hold on a second, let me take a quick look. Yeah, I'm over in North Carolina, specifically in Wakes County, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Or no,
Okay.
Wilkes County, and I'm looking for where the ATM actually is. Is it inside the store? Liberty X is what I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
It should be inside the office, inside the store. I'm sorry, and you can just go and check with them.
Go check with them. Okay. All right. And who should I talk to?
You can walk in and there would be the guy, or you can do it by yourself as well. You can make the transaction by yourself as well.
Oh, that's cool. All right. And what was your name?
My name is Adam Brooks.
Adam Brooks. All right. Pleasure, Adam. This is Jeremy. Appreciate the help, brother. And thanks for the information.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you
All right.
so
You
much.
too, brother. Bye bye.
All right. Well, look at that. Your little CIA psychic warning. Look at all these things you guys get to look at. Kind of things that pop up. And I only have those things pop up because look at that. Look at that. So the reason why we went there is because there was this guy who was referencing. If you take a look, these are Parkway mileposts and sections, right at the state line. It's literally North Carolina, Virginia state line. And each one of these have a little bit different things you're going to be looking for. And so I just was perplexed at the book itself. And let's pull up that book real quick. All right, so we're going to pull up that book. And let's kind of get in real close right there, right? So we know that's what it says there. We know those cool rocks look like the entry points to Hawksbill Ridge. We kind of know that looks like a Hawksbill Ridge too, both whether it be the Hawksbill Ridge in Virginia or mountain in the Hawksbill in North Carolina. But let's go ahead and take this sucker. Let's do some magic here. Abracadabra. We have a 261, and there are some people that are up there right now actually looking forward to Mount Rogers. I heard that because a couple hikers that were coming from that way. I let them know what I was looking for. Some treasure. They said, "Oh, we found Mount Rogers," and a few others in other places. But yeah, look what you got there. 261. So let us catch back up to here, where this here is the Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina update by Bill Morin. Merriam. Oh, man, English. Not a big fan. Check this out. Oh, did you see that? Let's get back to that. Right about. Wait for it. It's coming. Ooh. Ah. Ah. There it is. Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina, Virginia. Roads, status, and closures. Now, why are we looking at the Blue Ridge specifically? Real quick, take a look at this. Because what is that? This isn't just the AT. That's a part of this is the Blue Ridge. C to C, 3333. Take this. Golden pot of gold. Pretty nice. Anyways. Back to this upside down 261. So in this journey, Virginia section parkways, Parkway mileposts by, right? Rockfish Gap, I-64. Know it all too well. Coming all the way down from that junction. That's the starting point coming northeast. In the map, it looks like it's further away. So it looks like John's starting down south to me, and he wants you to go on that journey to find it. But as we go through, we get to see all the different routes. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to stop at one particular route. You ready? We're getting closer. See how it says now that we're in the North Carolina section of Parkway? That's pretty cool too. All right, so I'm supposing the Blue Ridge Parkway in definition, they're counting it from up down. So if we were to reverse it, it might be a little bit better. Because why? Why did we reverse? Oh my goodness. How many times have we been reversing in this map, in the book, manipulating, twisting, and shifting? Come on, at least once, if not 4 times. And when we find things, we better find symmetry 3 different ways for the Son, the Father, and the Grandfather. So this coming to here, we have now stopped at exactly 261. Do you guys see that? You guys see? Let me pull up my pen here. Check this out. I'm going to put a little beep, 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 beep right here. So 261 is North Carolina 16 to US 240 or 421. Dyslexia strikes again. And you know what's cool about that? That puts us. Wait, that's the picture. I want the actual map. That puts us right here. Right here. This little junction where the elbow's coming up. I call it the elbow. This little section right here. all the way to here. This is NC16 and comes over to 421 US. And why are we looking at that? Remember, N16 to US 421. That gets you to a pretty nice spot, but it gets better. Wait for it. Wait for it. If we were to take this junction from right here and look at the bigger picture, which would be how far that actually runs. Look at this. This is North Carolina N16, right? Just in North Carolina, it comes all the way up there. And if we're starting out where Jones started, or where John started out, I'm looking over at Jones, you'd see Statesville right there. And that's where he's from. We can zoom in on that later. Right next to it's Hickory, Morgantown. Blowing Rock's up there. Kind of looks like, you know, our main man over here with his Blowing Rock. You see that? You either have, clearly we see that's blue. So we're a big fan of the blue Smoky Mountains. Meanings within meanings. Each one of these have triple meanings behind it. It's incredible. Wrong side. Here we go. So let's jump back over to here. And then there's the highlighted for you guys. Look at that. Don't worry about Mel Mitchell. Oh, and this is my main man here. This is the guy that was talking about openings and closures. We'll get into that's the guy we mentioned earlier. So here's the bigger one where you're now on US 240, right? Right. Wait, did I not take a screenshot of that? That sucker was huge. Oh, give me a second. Give me a minute. Yeah, see, I didn't find it before then. So we're gonna go into here. We're gonna go to US 421. Blah. Look at the length of that. Would you look at that? Oh, where does it end? Oh man, it's Chicago up here. That is pretty cool. And man, let's just zoom all the way in back where we were, right? There's Johnson City, Kingsport. That's pretty cool. Right. Grandfather Mountain right there. And you remember that little junction I was talking to you guys about? It was right here. Here's NC 19, whatever that was, running right by the 421. North Carolina NC 16. NC 16 meets 421, and it comes right to there. But look at that. So that's the junction. That's the junction. That's right there. Rather impressive. And then if we were to shoot this pin drop, which, why would we go to this pin drop? Why in the world would we go to this pin drop over here at this Sheetz gas station? My pin's too close. It's not letting me zoom in. Liberty X Bitcoin ATM. All right, so let's just go from here. We're gonna do directions, and let's do this. Oh, no, not there. Let's go over to here, and let's do. Y'all gonna like this one. Vermont, specifically, you know it. Little Rock Pond. Yeah, we're going to go right to that. We're going to do directions. We're going to find the best route. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Hold up. Now let's add a journey. Let's add a journey into this. It gets better. Which is why I'm thinking I'm looking for the AT. No, that's probably up in Vermont. I am looking for something even better. I'm looking for the lion's share, I think. Pretty certain. It's just going to take a little bit more time. You would not understand the number of stories that tied into all of these. Okay. Hold on. Let's add another stop. Edit stops. We're going to add one here. This one's going to be, you guessed it, Chicago. Ah, man. I hate spelling so much. Oh my goodness. That's kind of cool. Whether it be that or Kansas, that would be a nice little segmented point. But Chicago, why Chicago? Wait, Ready Player One. Hold on. Where was Ready player 1. Set. Okay, here we go. Columbus, Ohio. Why was I thinking Chicago? Something came up with Chicago. Okay, all right. But that got us to Chicago. And there's Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. Look at that. Well, would you look at that? Wow, Wayne. That old man is pretty smart chilling in his cave. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to go to Columbus, Ohio. Now let's change that up. That's maybe my mouse switching up the C's. Who knows? Columbus, Ohio. See, little Freudian slips are good for you. Don't mean digging into those things that you didn't even get right the first time. Well, that's a pretty good W right there. Now let's say he extruded it. That's a little close. You know what I mean? It's a little tight. 1, 2, 3. Nah. Now, let's back that one out. Let's just simply say that's a good stretch there. That was weird. What was that? Let's say that we're going to. I like this. He does mention Oklahoma. He does, though, doesn't he? And if you were to view this as a world, you would take it and you would lay it down flat. And you would even angle it up a little bit. So something, the Pokemon box, Arkansas? That's a pretty good little spot. Arkansas, Kansas, somewhere around there. You know what? Let's just make a little bloop. Pin drop. Let's do destination. We're going to choose it on the map. All right, right here. Cherokee Nation. That's pretty cool. Choose on the map. We'll just go here. Okay. Now, I do know that the CCC 1727. Wait. What happened? Oh, we lost a few. Little Rock Bond. Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. Oh, this thing's getting confused and taking a minute. All right, so let's switch up. Little Rock Bond, then down to North Carolina, then up, then down. Boom, boom, boom. And then maybe, that's right, he does have a 1, 2. Maybe you do have to go to Chicago. Maybe you're going up to Missouri, Wisconsin. Those that think it's in Iowa, kind of, boom, then jumps up and then comes down to here, maybe in New Mexico, where some people think that he had put it. And it's the travel. So if we were to put that in there, maybe we'd go up to Chicago. Would be a next spot. Yeah. Add that stop. All right. Can we broaden this up? Can we open this even more? Let's see. That looks like a pretty good. If we're choosing a path and a route, yeah, that's looking pretty good. 1, 2, and then we'd have another one over here, right? We're leaving this kind of wide open, aren't we? We really are. But let's do this. A preservation. That's a pretty big size preservation right there. We're gonna go ahead and add that as a stop. And then we're gonna go all the way up to Seattle, Washington. Well, I'm thinking Oregon, but let's go ahead and go over to the Roaring Wilderness. Oh, there's Mount Hood. That's pretty cool. But we're looking to be just a little bit. Let's see here. All right, we're going to type in my favorite spot, which kind of stuck to me, just like it was drawn. It runs up 101. It's hits a meridian line. It's all kinds of crazy impressive things. Roaring Forts. Wait, what are you doing over there? Wait a second. What? Oh yeah, no, wrong Roaring Forks. Sorry about that. buddy. All right. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and put it down as something. We're going to slap right. Let's go to Mount Hood. I'm a fan with that one. An infamous, notorious Mount Hood. Add the final stop and complete the puzzle to finish the race. Are you ready? Ready? Whoa, what happened to D and F? Where did F come from? F? F, you can say goodbye. Thank you, though, buddy. Your efforts weren't necessary. Yet. We're just theorizing. Don't mind the pinkies. Sometimes when I drink, throw it up there. Bottled waters, coffee cups, they all... Come on, buddy. Light me up. Show me the way. Can't seem to find a way there. So we must choose our own way, is what you're telling me. All right, well, maybe Mount Ho is a little bit too difficult for you. Warm Springs. Pfft. Somebody had buried me a treasure. I would have been like, all right, that looks pretty good. All right, we're going to go to Chili's. We're going to add that up to stop. All right, good. Maybe now I can solve it. Survey says, do we have a big W? In no particular order. Okay, we're going to switch up those two. Final say. Big W. And kind of does. I guess if those people are going to travel who are up in this area, right? Those that are all up in that area. Really, yeah. And let's go ahead and make a little Olympic ring over here. Right? And think about the world as it curves, right? It's gonna do the curving. So as you're looking down, you want to get that overhead or slanted down view. It's gonna have that curve to it. So that image you're seeing there, it's wider over here on this side on the west, narrower on this side. This one might drop down into Georgia, maybe Tennessee, possibly even South Carolina, because that's 100 feet off the AT trail. You're in South Carolina. 100 feet, 100 yards, something like that. And does this kind of line up to where even like the Pokemon, little Dallas, Texas, leaving above the Ozarks, kind of like a, and then there's this over here coming from Little Rock Pond. Like, that's why I think it could have been up in there. Like, I might be chasing, checking just beyond the 4 foot, seeing a silhouette, maybe seeing my silhouette, being confused sometimes. It's just so exciting. But it is our seed. And there's a plant in a tree that was planted in seedlings at 1727. I saw a picture of it. They had the timeline like they usually do if you go to like the big national forest out there in Cali with the redwoods. And they're like, this is when Jesus was born. And you're like, that's cool. And you look at the very center, you're like, that's probably when the beginning of time was, as big as this thing was. But anyways, just an interesting little thought to spin on the big W. 360,000. I buried it under the big W. Well, he didn't have to bury this one. He just placed it in a beautiful site, in a dark place, in the center of a giant maze. Follow the stories. Enjoy the journey. As this here. Returning the GoPro That's all completely unnecessary. I think you turn that little one right there. One of your combinations in the puzzle, obviously, you take that and you would twist it. This is going to need a slide. I love the fact that they're either going to have it slide to the right or to the left. I love the threes that are in there. And the sharp angles, you're making a 90 degrees. And that sharp angle with the threes, so incredible. Little rose compass with it's inside. And you got some more over here on this side. 1, 2, 3. Then there's that one. Why that standing there? Unique as it is, rhododendron, lilies, or what's it? Laurels. Sorry, the other L. But yeah, these screws, you twist, you turn. Here's your ridge, or your hinge. Stay tuned. All of these play a part in my theory, including the grooved lines.